We are about to start. This is Robot Nuke. Now let's hear it for the man, the myth and the legend in his own head, Eric Nuke Hudson.
Hey, we are back. Got another live stream for you. So, you know what we're about to do. We're about to get in here and we're going to talk about these numbers, see what's going on in the market, how it affects you. And those of you who may be live, you know what we're going to do. We're going to take us a little bit of Q&A, figure out what's going on. And I brought it back. I got my V8 here, hot and spicy, along with, what do you call that stuff? Yeah, the Bloody Mary. So if you're watching this on the replay, got any questions, leave them down below. I got a special treat. I got this new thing that I got. This is just actually from their briefing. I keep calling them briefings like we did in the military. Got this thing here. We had a presentation yesterday, office meeting, and I ended up, getting the service so I can get more detailed information. I actually learned a lot yesterday because I did not know this. When we look at the numbers, and I say like the average days on market or X, Y, and Z, those numbers are actually skewed a little bit because they include things like, let's say I want to make sure numbers are included in the MLS so I can have numbers, not me, well, me included. Let's say I pre-sold a house. I sold it and, to someone in my database or something like that. And I go in and the house is already sold for some reason, but I still put in the MLS just to sell it. And then I take it, I say it's sold, 10 minutes later. Well, that goes against the numbers. So this service, they also go in, they figure that stuff out and they take it out. So the numbers are more accurate. And yeah, houses are actually sitting on the market longer than a lot of people realize. So we'll go through that a little bit later. So we're going to go ahead and start going through the numbers. Let's see, should I be on here? Y'all care? Yeah, well, sir, put me on here. Okay, let's just go ahead, and we're on the 30th, which means we're at like the 99 percentile. So we kind of know what's going to go on for the rest of the month. I mean, for this month. So January, it's pretty much done. Most of the stuff is going to be in there. The numbers we see now that are going to be reflected when the official numbers come out, there's going to be very little difference. So we're going to go in. I'm going to go ahead and do my live numbers because, I like for you guys to see, to show my work, as I like to put it. So we're going to go through today. And I'm going to go through and let's see. So far, 1,761 homes have sold. We're going to start with everybody's favorite, the single family residences. So far, 1,378 have sold. Now let's go back and look at what sold in December. It was 1,811. So it looks like less have sold. So January, so far, now we're looking at close. So these are ones that actually sold in December. They're closing this month. So it is way down. Let's go ahead and look. Let's look at the numbers and see. Come on now. What this has actually done for us. And actually, yeah, here we go. So, whoa. Are you seeing what I'm saying here? Look at this. The median price sold was $485. Those who don't know, that is a new record. The record for single family homes in Southern Nevada was hit in May of like 2002. What was it? 3? I have to look back. 3, 4, 2002, May 2002. We'll double check it. That was $482,000. That was the record high for single family homes. Record high. This number is not going to change by much when the official numbers come out. So when you look about the, I say, well, let's look what the month of February looks like. So I'm going to tell you right now, it's sure my CC set in boot camp in Great Lakes, Illinois, back in whenever. I'm not going to give away my age. As sure as God made little green apples on next Friday, on February 7th, you're going to look at the Las Vegas Review Journal, and the headline is going to say record housing prices in Las Vegas. Oh my God. I'm sorry. Oh my God. $485,000. Median price, $600,000, which is not a record median. I'm sorry, average. We've already discussed this one. So this is a false number that I've learned yesterday. 33 days on market for the median, average of 46. Wow, this is amazing. High sale was 13.5 million. Low sale was 85,000. Almost want to go back and see what those looked like and see what a median priced home looks like. 485. Let me write that down. I'm old. Let's see, 485K. We may have to look at some of them, see what they looked like. Okay. Matter of fact, you know what? I want to look at them. I'm going to do this for a second. Give me a little grace, because I guarantee you there's a whole bunch of them there. There were 9. Let's take a look at the results. Let's look at one. May have to hide it. Let's see. So we had one that was built in 2002. Now I'm going to have to hide this for just a second. You're just going to see my beautiful face, because I'm going to go into it, and I don't want you to see something that you shouldn't see. So it listed for $494,900, $495,000. That's what it really is. It was in a 55 plus community. It was in Summerlin. I'm not going to say where. It was on the market 121 days. Wait a minute. Hold up. Wait a minute. That's the price when it sold. This is why it was on the market for 121 days. The original price was $509,900, so it was overpriced. I keep telling people this. You know what? Not going to do it. Not going to do it. Not going to do it. The total time on market from the time it was listed to the time it closed was 182 days. Let's see. Guard gated community. Let's see what she looks like. So now I've gotten past that. I'm going to get the pictures. Let's see what she looked like so you can see it. This is 2002. 485,000. Median price, single family, Summerlin. '55 plus community. Very nice. Very nice. Okay. Let me get back to my ugly mug here. And let's see. Let's find something a little more normal. Okay, here's one that was on the market 2005. 2,200 square feet. So it's probably a 2-story. Let's get the particulars on it. Originally well, let's go originally. It's $495 on the market, 16 days. So that means those priced well. It still got it under. Let's see here. It's a 5-bedroom, 3-bath. That don't even make sense. Okay, let's get in here. Let's take a look at it, see what she looked like. Okay, let's take a look at her. Somebody lucked out on this one. Should only be so lucky. I think somebody robbed somebody on this. Looks like somebody enclosed the rear there. It's not really enclosed, but yeah, nice little back. See, they put that back there. Yeah, that's not bad. Okay. That was yeah, that was interesting. So let's get on back here. Now we can see us both. Okay. So yeah, we're gonna have some interesting conversations next Friday. Everybody's going to talk about, but they're not going to talk about how low the numbers were as far as the sales. So get into condos and townhouses because that's what they love to talk about. Three, because they combine them. So 346, we're going to compare it against 466. So that's down too. But remember, this is December. Let's go look at the results. 289 compared against 290. So pretty much unchanged. Pretty much unchanged. So let's get in here. I'm not going to look at a median because it's hard to tell. Okay. Okay. So let's get on back here. And let's take these out and then get to those numbers people wonder about. Because how many were repos? So of the 1700 and what was it, 1761? Yep, 1761. That's total. Sorry, writing these down so I don't have to sit right. It wasn't what it wasn't. 11 were repos. So I keep getting people still going like, I'm looking for a repo because I want to save money and I don't mind fixing stuff up. Kind of want to do a video on it. My last market update, I asked people to leave a comment if they want me to do a video on it. Still, if somebody wants me to do a video, I'll explain a little bit more. You don't save money on repos anymore. And the reason you don't, for the most part, you can sometimes find a good deal. Sometimes. A lot of times you don't because, one, the AMC asset management company will have the realtor, and that's part of their deal with them. They will actually fix the house up already, and because they want full price, and they will actually, when it's all said and done, they actually reimburse the realtor for fixing up the house as part of the deal. And the reason you got these great deals on repos when you bought a house back in the day is the government wanted help the banks get the repos off of their books, and it gave them money to do it. And it was called HARP and HAMP money. That money is gone. So, and on top of that, most people are not upside down in their homes. So most people, if they get a notice, they just sell it themselves and take the money. Because if your house gets repoed, they keep all of the money. If they repo your house and you got $50,000, $100,000 in equity, why would you let someone else have that? Now, I know some people let that happen. I don't understand it, and yet I do, because they think it's going to somehow work its way out. It doesn't. Sometimes, there's an entire industry in real estate where they go after these folks and go like, hey, the bank's just going to take your money. Then the people go like, okay, they're going to take my money, and then they just sell on the market, and then they take that 150,000 or whatever, put it in their pocket instead of letting the bank have it, because the bank does take that money. Okay. Now let's get back into here. How many were short sales? 6. That seems to be a running thing. It's like 10 to 13 for repos and 6 for short sales every single month. Don't know why. Now everyone always wants to know how many were sold by different types of loans. So let's go in here. So terms, I'm just gonna go by cash. 506 were cash. FHA, I missed conventional. 306 conventional, which is going to be the majority of them. 773, and on down to VA is 132. It's going to be the least amount. Every once in a while, I'd like to check to see if it's there. 0 for USDA. That's actually a viable option, believe it or not. So there we go. Now this number is going to go up a little bit because we still have the ones that closed today. A lot of realtors aren't going to put these in for a couple of days. You have 2 days to put them in, but not everyone's going to do that. Okay, let's go ahead, go through. I'm just going to, at this point, go through and just do single family so it makes more sense. You know what? I'm just going to do them all. Because believe it or not, townhomes, I'm going to show you like right now, just at townhomes, there's 177. But if I go single story, watch this. There's 49 of them. 49 single story townhomes. Why is there 49 single story townhomes? That's because a townhome is a legal description for ownership. So it's not that 2-story thing that you're used to seeing. It's the legal ownership of, who owns what. And if you go to the 55 plus communities, I guarantee you a lot of these 49 are in the 55 plus communities, especially around the golf courses on the fairways. A lot of them are the townhomes. Sorry, had to get me a little Bloody Mary there. But you'll see the majority are 2-story. Some may be 3-story. See, 6 were. And you may find some 1-story condos. Again, it's an ownership. See, look, 25 1-story condos. Say back to single families, of course. And believe it or not, I think last month we actually found one townhouse that had a pool, and it actually was a townhouse that had a pool. So let's go, and we'll go. Let's see here. Speaking of pools, 322 houses had pools. And let's see here. I had 5 bedrooms. 171 had 5 plus bedrooms. Because you have those. You got people with big families. And how many had 3 plus garages? 371. You'll also find there is a correlation with 5 5+ bedrooms, 3+ baths, and 3+ garages. Matter of fact, let's just show it. So 5+ bedrooms, 171. Whoops, I'm sorry. That's, wait a minute. 5+ bedrooms, huh? I guess there's more, yeah. Maybe it's the bedrooms. Oh, that's possible. Huh. That's baths. Huh, interesting. Look at all these houses that have 3 bathrooms. Oh, you know what? Because those are 2.5 baths. Okay. Let's see. Other questions people have. Let's see. How many they said the foreclosure is commenced? 3, but that's for single family. I'm going to take this out and we'll see how many are in age restricted. 121 out of that 1,700. Let's see here. Okay. Oh, that takes care of that. So hopefully if I get it all done right, a week from now, I'll be putting out the big video where I go deep into the numbers and hopefully deeper into some more numbers I'm going to show you later. But let's go in and just see what's going on. Look at this. A lot of people are putting their houses on the market. Last 7 days, 983 homes have come on the market. 182 have come back on the market. So they've had kind of like failed sales, but some of them may have just, like temporarily come off the market, back on the market. 836 price decreases where people didn't get realistic to begin with, where you start off realistic. I don't know if what I'm going to show you later is going to show you this, but it has been scientifically proven where if you overprice the house to begin with, in the long run, you're going to get less money. And I know all people, every time they go like, well, I want to overprice it. And that way, I'm taking care of the people who are going to try to lowball me and all this stuff. No, it doesn't work that way. It just doesn't work that way. So increases, I rarely understand those, but sometimes I see where they do. Sometimes they go in, they put in work on the house, and then they go like, you know what? I put in all this work, so I want to increase it. But you got to be careful on that. It's not a one-to-one thing. If you go in and you put in, let's say, a new kitchen, and you spent $40,000 on the kitchen, you can't raise the price by $80,000. I see people doing that. You put $40,000 in the kitchen, you may be able to raise the price $30,000 if you're lucky. If you're lucky, but your mileage may vary. That's why these flippers, they kind of know what they're doing. Except for during the dark times. That's why a lot of them lost their money in the dark times and they're back to traditional formulas now. So under contract show and no show. Let's just call it 875 or so. So a little less than the new listings coming on the market. So we're going to see the inventory rise a little bit for next month. Solds. Oh my goodness. In the last week, look at that. 551. We're almost, it's not exactly, but almost half the number sold in the last week as came on the market. Fewer sold in the last week as there were price decreases. We have the market is like, it just defies gravity, but we'll see a little bit later why it's doing that. 68 expireds. That's actually going up a little bit. Withdrawals, 254. A lot of these withdrawals, man. It's like I'm not getting my price, and why isn't my house moving? I got people calling me right now. I got houses on the market, and they're like, "How come no one's looking at my house?" Well, various reasons, and I forgot to look when I was over there. Oh my goodness, I did not look at the numbers. I'm sorry. When I was looking at the condos and townhomes, I didn't look at the average days on market and stuff. I apologize, but we'll get that in the big one. So I want to get here just real quick. We'll go over the numbers. So 30-year fix is actually getting good. We're at 705, which is an improvement a little bit. VA 6.45. I'm sorry, FHA 6.45, 6.46 for VA. Now I'm going to come over here. This PowerPoint was sent to me this morning. This is from the presentation. I got to say it that way. Spent too much time in the military. I'm too used to the word briefing. Let me get myself over here. Yeah, that's the way it's supposed to be. Okay. So yesterday the Fed met, kept rates unchanged. President Trump ordered them to lower the rates. One, short-term rates do not affect mortgage rates, okay? So, and two, the president can't order them to do anything. So I'm just saying that. It's kind of a wait and see. They're trying to see what's going on with jobs data. The jobs data keeps coming back very good. Inflation seems to be pretty well under control, which they're happy with. But the jobs data just keeps coming back too good for them. So as you can see, the Fed funds rate, this is where it is right now. It's been pretty steady. We haven't had the kinds of cuts that we've wanted and everything. The thing that surprises me is like credit card rates. I'm sure you notice they are high as heck, but usually it's the Fed funds rate or prime rate plus X seems to be more than X now. I'm going to get deeper into this from my notes. I just got this today and I wanted to just get it out to you guys. My big briefing is going to have more on this, and after I get my other stuff from the fact that I've actually subscribed to these guys. So as you can see, mortgage rates have actually been going up. I don't know. He was talking and talking and talking. This is what he's talking about. Unemployment rate has gone down. It is holding steady, which is why they kind of actually wanted to go up. Now, I don't know if any of you know this, but there's this thing called the natural rate of unemployment, and it's actually 6%. So anything under 6%, you may not feel that it is good, but this is actually the natural rate of unemployment here at 6%. So the jobs creation data just keeps getting better, or keeps staying good. And inflation is pretty close to the target that they want. They actually wanted a little bit lower. I think he said like 2.5%. Credit card debt is at a record high, which is making it difficult for them for people to, of course, buy houses. Now, what does determine mortgage rates are 10-year Treasury notes, and that takes people who are doing that. They're traded in more long-term things, and they're actually looking out on what the economy is going to do in a longer term fashion. And one of the things you have to look at are the mortgage spreads. So if you look out, You see these spread. You look here. See, we started getting these huge spreads and everything, and like right now, we're getting even huger spreads. We're like, look here, when the rates got up to almost 8%, but look where the treasury rate was. See, normally the spread, I believe you said it was 1.45%, which is what it's supposed to be. But the spread is even more now because they're factoring in a whole bunch of risk. So the mortgage rates should actually be lower. So, like, look here, that spread is almost 3%. So it should have actually, when mortgage rates were 8%, they should have actually been more like 6.5%. So that was driving a lot of people to, pay a heck of a lot more for houses than they should have. And if you look back, this is when, things were really bad if you're trying to buy or sell a house. Now, we are still in a supply crisis along with this affordability crisis. Now, you just saw how few houses sold. Okay, look, we just hit a record high for prices for single families. Record high. Well, if you're selling so few houses, how are we hitting record highs? Believe it or not, we have a record low in houses right before. Now, I'm talking nationwide, I'm also talking locally because we as humans, we see things that we want to see and hear things we want to hear. Because right now in Florida, I mean, I could pull up something right now in Florida and tell you how bad it is, because it is. And there are different reasons. I can get into a completely different video on how bad Florida is right now in parts of Texas. Because right now there was a article out today on how Blackstone bought a house last year. They just had to sell it for 100 and something less than they bought it for. I mean, 100 something thousand. Like, I forgot the number. That's great. That was Florida. There's a big crisis right now. So they're having a lot of issues. But remember, we're over 4 million houses short right now. Let's see if we get there. Low inventory is because the builders are not building enough houses to keep up with our current population. So if you look at the supply of houses compared to our population keeps going up. You compare that over time, we now have more people than we have houses. So now that's why we have supply scarcity. Same thing here in Clark County. If you go back, and doesn't even go back far enough. From what I understand, I was not here during the 2008 crisis. There was like 20,000 homes on the market. Now, hold on, let's see if we can go back, see how many homes are on the market right now. So we just go to active, we'll do single family. Am I losing it here? There we go. Go to the results. We have 5,500 homes on the market right now. So now I don't know if that number included condos and townhomes back then, but I know it was supposed to be over 20,000. Our population in Clark County was 500,000 people less than it is now. So yeah, we have a lot fewer homes on the market. But these interest rates are ridiculous because back then the interest rates were what, like 4.5%, 5%. But looks like we're going to have more homes on the market overall this year. Now, here in Nevada, right now, 75% of all homeowners have an interest rate that is 5% or lower. 50%, sorry, 56% have an interest rate that is 4% or lower, and 21% have an interest rate that is 3% or lower. And a lot of these people are not listing their houses or have no intent of listing their houses because why would they give up a house and then get a house at 7 and 8%? Well, right now, 7. So a lot of people aren't going to do that. So we are starting to get more signs in the yard, just not enough to really meet the demand. But the demand is actually low purely because of one thing: interest rates. And it doesn't take a genius to figure it out. Interest rates are just too much. So the latest survey says, what will it take for someone to just pull the trigger right now? Majority of them, for interest rates to decline. Majority of people I have who are sitting on the fence, interest rates, interest rates, interest rates. Some people don't care. Just find the house. Some people waiting for the house prices to decline. If you're in Florida, Texas, yeah, especially if you're looking for a condo. Problem with looking for a condo in Florida is you may buy the condo, it may be cheap, but you may have a $200,000 assessment. That's where their problem is. That's why the prices are going down there. No, look at affordability and look at this. It only stops at 3.75%. So the number of households that can afford a home right now, look at this. So what do we say? It was 704. Or 705. So let's call it 28 million houses can afford a house right now. 28 million. That drops down to 3.75. Remember, we got down to 2.25. Almost 45 million people can afford a house. Look at that delta. It's huge. Now, right now, I've said this over and over again. They say the magic number is between 5 and, let's just call it 5.5. People are ready to pull the trigger to buy a house. So when interest rates do fall, just be ready for stiff competition. And I don't consider this good interest rates. I consider this crap, personally. I consider this good interest rates here. I consider this better. But this is crap. And yet this is where it's considered the magic number and everything's going to go crazy. Now this is what's just crap numbers to me. So look at this. Now we said what, 705? Right now, for a $3,000 a month desired payment, principal and interest only with a 20% down, you can afford a $563,000 house at 7%, but a 680, just call it what it is, $700,000 house at 5%. 5. Can you imagine what it would be at 2.5? So there's some people out there with some really nice houses that are paying nothing because they have 2.5%. Okay, let's just see. I haven't had any questions. I'm just looking for somebody to give me. I have a few people here. Questions? Hey, broke agent. Wow. I was looking at your thing today with what's her face? Okay. Let's see here. Hopefully he's gonna have it here. See, like, yeah, here it is. So right now, if you were to list a house, it would take you 110 days on average to sell that house. What did I just show you? 33 days. So they're saying that those numbers are actually incorrect. 110 days. Henderson, 114. North Las Vegas, 98. This is what I wanted to get to. From their actual numbers of what it really takes to sell a house. And this is what it's gone year over year, what it actually takes to sell a house. So if you have a house on the market and you're yelling at your realtor after 1 week, how come no one has looked at my house? In 1 year, it's gone from 57 days to 114 in Henderson to sell a house. In Las Vegas, 54 days to 110. And in North Las Vegas, 39 to 98. This is when you get these economists who are really going in there with their linear regression and all this stuff, who are really looking at the data. These are the real numbers you should be looking at. So cage your gyros, as we used to say in the Air Force, so you know what you're going to be looking at, your expectations for selling the house. Don't start going crazy because 3 weeks from now, your house isn't sold. If you're in Las Vegas, be prepared for it to take 2, 3, 4 months for it to sell. And don't have any foolishness out there where you're going to be going like, oh, let's I know it's a little bit highly priced. You got to outclass your competition. Now, springtime, because remember, these are January numbers based on their linear regression and their statistics. We used to call it statistics instead of statistics. No, sadistics. That's what we called it when I was taking it in college. Um, yeah. But these are their numbers. They're economists who write this stuff. I'm not going to go over luxury, but the luxury market here is 750 plus. I'm not going to deal with luxury. But as far as the breakdowns go, the market is really 400 and less. That's where the real market is. Market time is 98 days. That's 35% of the current inventory, but 40% of the market or the current demand. 4 to 450 to 500. Remember, the median price is 485 now. 102 days, which is 21% of the market, 23% of the demand. 5 to 6. Remember, the average is 600. 101 days, 14% of inventory, 15% of demand. I'm not even going to go here. I'm not going to go into luxury. So hope to have all of the numbers, since I'm subscribed to these guys, to have a better presentation for the long one. So these are their concerns for next year. We try to suss this out. He's got his 3 scenarios that he thinks may happen for next year. So they believe there's going to be 3 scenarios possibly. Scenario 1, strong economic numbers during the spring, rates between 6.5 and 7, inventory 5,500, which is, in my opinion, where we're at right now. Demand picks up due to better rates. Bidding wars start in the spring. Bidding wars, even last year, as bad as it was, we had bidding wars. I had a house I had listed last year, had bidding wars. It was amazing. But it was the guy who listened to me and listed for what I told him, and he got so many offers on it, and then it still didn't even appraise, and we still got it them to pay over appraised value. Just got to do this stuff, man. Wait a minute. We still doing the same one? Okay. Buyers not willing to stretch. Closed sales up between 8 and 10%. I think he means home values rise 3 to 6% year over year. That's normal. Uh, Scenario 2, a strong economy, strong job, inflation. Uh, Rise inventory to 9,000 homes. That would be a lot. More seller competition. Short spring, demand sluggish, like spring of 2024. Yeah, it was kind of sluggish, but there was still multiple offers on great houses. Buyers unwilling to stretch. Strong economy. Closed sales up between 1 and 3. Home values actually going down 2 to 0 with a new record. Who knows? That may be good. Scenario 3, economy cools down, rates drop below 6.5, inventory rises to only 8,000, demand picks up due to lower rates, bidding wars starting in the spring. Closed sales up 12 to 16, home values rise 5 to 8, which isn't a big deal. Okay. So those are his forecasts and everything. Still don't have any questions either over here. And Instagram did not do TikTok this week, even though it seems to blow up, but I can't track all of these at once. Are there any questions before I end this? I've been online for about 48 minutes now. Almost done with my Bloody Mary. I want to make sure if anybody has any questions. I have a few people here. Anybody who is watching this later, put your questions down below. Try to get them answered on my regular update videos for as far as my market update video, my big one. I'll try to answer those questions there for you because I want to make sure everyone gets their questions answered. We're going into a very interesting time. I don't care what your political flavor is. We're going into an interesting time. And I just don't have much to say about it. Nobody knows what's going to go on. Everybody has their theories, whether it's good or bad. All I want to do is just give you the current news. That's why I subscribe to this guy here. Seems to have some good stuff. Seems to be an extreme geek. And I guess it gives me some stuff to geek out on and give you guys some good information. Give you a good story, give you some good numbers. And I did like that, you had that thing about, what, the numbers are kind of lying to you that they're giving you through the MLS. Like when I showed you, hold on, let me go back. I think this is a good one because I think we should go back and finish it up because I came in here and I go, wait a minute. Whoops. Okay, so anyway, finishing it up, 289, 250, 29 days, median on market, average of 49. Like you said, those numbers a lot of times are fake. And the reason they're fake is a lot of agents have pre-sold some of these houses and, they come on the market and then boom, they're sold. I wonder if I could find some of these. Hold on, let me see. I want to go single family and see if I could actually find some. Hold on. See, I know what he's talking about. So let me see. If I go to the results, let me see. Days on market. Look at this. Look at this. 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. 1, 1, 1. See, these are the ones he's probably talking about. Let's go to 100. See, how are you on the market? 0 days. 1 day. Okay, see, this is probably like where his cutoff is. Think about how that affects the numbers. That's like 50 houses that probably really were not. I mean, even some of these threes are probably, the 4 is probably not. But some of these threes, probably all these 2s, the 1s and the 0s, like he was saying, were pre-sold. And they put them here just so they could, the numbers will flow to Zillow and homes.com and everything else. And now it actually makes sense. I'm going to have to hide. No, I don't have to hide it for this. Let's go into history for this house here. Look at this. On the market, and my math is correct, 6 minutes later, off the market. 6 minutes. Okay, that makes sense now. What he's saying makes sense. A lot of these houses were pre-sold. They just put them on the MLS just to work their statistics. Now it makes sense. I mean, I've seen it, but I never really thought about it and how it messes up the statistics. So when I go in and I look here, and I go, well, the median is 33 days on the market. The average is this. No, the averages and the medians are screwed up because of that. I never thought about it. That's what somebody who's just sitting there all day long, and that's all they're doing is crunching numbers, and they can do that. And you can see that the average time, the time you actually need. So we go here. Whoops, wrong one. Let's go back to the actual time it takes to sell a house now. Actual time. No, we'll just do it in Clark County by the price point. So if you have a $450,000 house, the actual market time to sell the house right now is 102 days. See how that makes such a difference? So in January, if you have a house on the market, it will take 102 days. Doesn't that make more sense to know that? Instead of being blown away by the old numbers, can you imagine if you were to go back? And I don't know, I'm going to have to ask, how far back do I get statistics? If I go back to 2021, will I be able to go in May of 2021? Can I show that it took 14 days? Because you know how fast they were selling back in 2021. That's some fascinating stuff, it really is. So still don't have any questions. Got a good little crowd here. I'm kind of like tap dancing a little bit just to see if anybody asks any questions, because I want to make sure everyone is satisfied. Also, there's anything you want on the big video that I may record it like next Saturday. The numbers from the MLS that will officially be published based on when they normally do it should come out next Thursday. We'll probably go through them on Friday, and hopefully, now that I've subscribed to these guys, hopefully they'll have my credentials and everything, and I'll be able to go in and get all the big numbers and incorporate that stuff by then. So hopefully I'll be able to get a video out earlier than normal and do it next Saturday. So anybody have any questions? I want to make sure it's answered. I want to get back to answering questions for folks. And now that I have more authoritative sources, I want to get those to you. And I have some more stuff I want to put out there. Wonder if I should do this. Hold on. I'm gonna see if I can do this without going. Hold on. Get into Neighborhood Scout. Here we go. I'm going to kind of do this a little bit more too. Now, this may be a separate type of video, but they never really changed it back. This place, this used to be really good, and they got sued. So they have some good information here, and the reason they got sued is their information was too good, and a bunch of housing advocates sued them because the information was too good. And the lawsuit was basically somebody could come in and use the information for nefarious purposes. And it was like, well, somebody could say, I want to live in the X's neighborhood possible. So build me a neighborhood that has these people and not these people and blah, blah, blah. And it would use all of the super great demographic data that it had, and it would give you that neighborhood. It just spit out data, and they got sued because their data was so good. So they just went to this thing, and it's like, we're just going to spit data. We won't give you what you want. But I could go in and like look up, like let's say I wanted to do research on a zip code here in Las Vegas. See, I'm just lucky on this because I got this back in the day. This stuff is like a couple of $1,000 a month. I mean, a year. I paid like $196. I've been grandfathered. But like, let's say I could go into this neighborhood here and pull like super detailed information on the neighborhood. If anyone's interested in me, like doing a weekly video on a neighborhood and pulling this deep and not giving the demographic data for some reason, even though people want this stuff, I can't give demographic data, but I'll give as much data as I possibly can. Yeah, it's real strange. The rules are real strange because you could be accused of steering and all kinds of crazy stuff. That's why you sometimes you make a video and tell people the truth. The crime area is over here. Everyone wants to know that, but if you tell them, someone could accuse you of steering, even though someone just got shot over there. That's amazing. It's amazing. But yeah. But everyone, when you ask what kind of neighborhood someone wants to live in, they say, I want to live in a safe neighborhood. We're not supposed to tell you what's a safe neighborhood. You're supposed to determine that yourself. It's really strange rules. Really strange rules. Well, anyway, nobody's asked any questions. Let's just go ahead and wrap it up, figure out what I'm going to do next, because I need to get something inside of me because I'm having some issues. I've been working out. I don't know. Does anyone knows I've been losing some weight or getting in shape and whatever? Because it's been real interesting because it's actually been too much. And it's been affecting certain things, including the fact that it's been lowering my blood sugar, and I actually shake at night. So I have to get some carbohydrates and sugars in me. So, anywho, I will see you guys maybe in a week or two. I don't know if doing this every week is good. That's why I keep asking if anyone is like has questions. When I did this on Sundays, I would have questions every single week. So I don't know if I need to go back to Sundays because I thought I'd have more engagements on, a weekday or something. but I actually had less, so I may go back to Sundays. We'll see. I'm going to experiment through the next little bit and try to see what happens. Okay. So I'm going to see you guys maybe in a week or two. All right. See you guys later.